What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Monday, December 21st. Hopefully you had an incredible weekend, but let's start your week off right. Yesterday, we got very good news. Very good news. We now know a stimulus package will get accepted. It will pass. This will include a $600 stimulus check, $600 for filers, $600 for their spouse, and $600 for child dependents. This will also include $300 per week in unemployment benefits. That's the second thing. This also includes rental assistance, food assistance, funding for schools is now coming as well. There's also money in here for transportation. There's a lot of good things in this $900 billion stimulus package or COVID relief bill. Congress is expected to release the full text of this bill sometime earlier today. We don't know exactly when, but what we do know is this will go out to the lawmakers. Once it goes out to the lawmakers, it always gets leaked. We will see it eventually. What we know is right now, Congress is expected to vote on this bill, this $1.4 trillion omnibus bill, and this stimulus package for roughly $900 billion. They will vote on this sometime today. Both the House and the Senate are expected to. We also, we got word last night that President Trump will sign this bill. He will sign it. He will not veto it. He supports this bill. We also are expecting Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley will back down. They will not object to this bill, which means it will pass with flying colors. That is the good news. Now I'm going to go over what is exactly in this bill, what you could potentially see, and when we could see it, the dates that we could see some of this money coming out based on the reports that we are getting right now. So if you're wondering when stimulus checks are going to be mailed out, when you could see it, I have the answer for you. Are you wondering when rental payments, rental assistance could be available to you? I have that answer as well. Are you wondering when unemployment benefits could hit your bank account? Well, I have that information for you as well. But before I get into that, I want to give you the bad news first. And this is bad news. I think this is as bad as it gets. Now, yesterday, the United States reported 179,801 new COVID cases and 1,422 deaths. Those numbers are showing a slight decrease in a 7-day average. So that is good news. But an even better news, on Friday, Moderna's vaccine was approved by the FDA, which means we now have 2 vaccines that will be going into the American people and people across the world. But there's a new problem that has started to show up. And I wanted to bring this information to you first so that you understand what's going on and what we can expect from this. Multiple countries are reporting a new COVID strain has popped up, and it started in the UK. That is not good. According to these reports, this strain is more transmissible. It's a more transmissible variant of COVID. COVID was already easily, transmissible. It would go from person to person with ease. This report doesn't say how deadly. It doesn't say anything how sick people are getting. We just are hearing that it's a more transmissible variant of COVID. Now, due to this report out of the UK, many countries have suspended all travel to and from the United Kingdom. This includes Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, Austria, Italy, France, Ireland, and Israel. The United States has not suspended travel to and from the UK just yet. There are quarantine measures in place, but outside of that, there is absolutely nothing. So, I just want you to be aware of this. I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I want you to be aware of what's going on around the world, because as of right now, this new variant of COVID is going to shut down many countries. I just want you to be aware of that, because this morning, as of shooting this video, the stock market is going bananas. Everything is just dropping. So, if you're not in the stock market, I highly suggest get in soon. Don't invest all your money, but invest a little bit, because as stuff starts to drop, it's going to be pretty much on sale, and then eventually when things get better, it goes back up. So if you want to get 4 free stocks with Webull, I'll put a link down in the description box below. All you gotta do, deposit $100. You do not have to spend that $100, just deposit it, and they will give you 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. So if you want to do that, now is going to be the time to do it. So let's get into the actual stimulus deal. Enough bad news for today. Let's talk about the good news. So right now, this is what we know is going to be included into this $900 billion stimulus package. So first, we have stimulus checks. They'll be for roughly $166 billion. They'll be for $600 each. That's $600 for filer, $600 for their spouse, $600 per child dependent, and it does not look like there's a limit. Last time there was a limit of 3 max. Now it's unlimited. This most likely will come out on January 1st. I just want to be clear. Today is December 21st. It most likely will take anywhere between 7 to 10 days for the first round, about 50 million stimulus checks, to be issued through direct deposit. That's according to Steve Mnuchin. So we should expect the first round of stimulus checks to reach our bank accounts by January 1st. As far as unemployment benefits, $120 billion. That is $300 per week for people on all unemployment programs. Okay, the PUA, PEUC, they are all included. It will go for 11 weeks. It should start around December 27th and it will expire on March 14th. We should expect the $300 per week, that bonus, to hit your bank account roughly around January 15th. Small business aid, also known as PPP funding, that is $284 billion. That's going to, it's actually like $325 billion, but $284 billion goes to PPP loans, $20 billion goes to low-income communities, $15 billion for live venues. This is called the SOS Act. This is something that was brought in by Chuck Schumer. We also have food assistance at $13 billion. This will provide for food and SNAP. The SNAP benefit will see a boost of about 15%. This should show up as soon as next month. It could be a little bit of a delay, but we are being told that it should show up very quickly. We also have $13 billion for farmers. Transportation, we have $15 billion for, it's roughly $45 billion total, but we have $15 billion for airlines, $14 billion for mass transit, $10 billion for state highways, $2 billion for airports, and $1 billion for Amtrak. We have $1.4 billion to finish the border wall. That was a stipulation by President Trump. We also have about $20 billion for vaccine and testing. It's technically $20 billion. It's $45 billion total, I believe, but it's $20 billion to purchase vaccines, $9 billion for distribution of those vaccines, which is very important. The $9 billion is key because before it was only about $2.3 billion. So we pretty much tripled that, which is great to see, which a lot of states were worried there's not be enough money to distribute the vaccine safely. So this is really good news. We also have $22 billion for testing and tracing, which is essential. We need testing and tracing, especially if there's a new strain of COVID. We need to have this in place. We need to have the money to go and support this. There's also $25 billion for rental assistance, and that includes a 1-month eviction moratorium extension. That is key. We need that extension because right now, according to the reports, it's going to take anywhere between January 15th to January 31st, and it could even take longer to get this rental assistance program into place, get all the systems up so people can go and apply. We also have $7 billion for broadband. A lot of people are wondering, why do we need faster internet? Why is this important? The reason why this is important is because many communities will not be able to open up their schools, which means you will have to do schooling from your computer, from an iPad, from your laptop, from your phone, wherever. But you will need internet to do that. So this is providing internet to many rural communities where they do not have the proper internet to actually let their children go to school or attend school. So that's what we know is in the bill right now. As we know more, I promise I'm going to share more, but that's what we know. Now, what I need you to understand is this will not be the last stimulus package that we see. This is not the end of stimulus. All leaders have said, even Mitch McConnell has stated, that another package will most likely be needed. However, they all did say that when Biden takes office on January 20th, it will be up to him to negotiate a deal with Congress. Many experts believe it's going to be easier for Joe Biden to work with Mitch McConnell than it was for President Trump to work with Mitch McConnell. Many people are saying that Joe Biden understands where Mitch McConnell is coming from. As Joe Biden did serve in the Senate for many years, he understands where Mitch McConnell is coming from. President Trump wanted to always spend way too much. Mitch McConnell a lot of times objected to what President Trump was trying to do. Even though they're both Republican, experts are saying they will have Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell will have a better working relationship than President Trump and Mitch McConnell ever did. So, if that's the case, great. We could see another stimulus package, which could potentially see $1,200 stimulus checks. What we do know, based on all economists' predictions at this point, is that this bill won't be enough. It actually falls woefully short. It will be a good start. It will help, but Congress will need to provide more than double this $900 billion in order to get the economy out of this recession and back to where it once was. And all of this, all of these predictions, all this talk was before we got word that there was a potential additional strain of COVID that is more transmissible. All of this was before that. So this $900 billion stimulus package, if there's another strain of COVID that's more transmissible, if it's more deadly, this will change everything. This $900 billion won't even cut it close. We would need closer to $3 trillion, possibly more, to get out of this. So, again, I don't want to worry you, but that's where we're at. Even Ben Bernanke, the ex-Federal Reserve chairman, during the 2008 recession, he had this to say the other day. We have a very tough 4 to 6 months coming up before the vaccine becomes widely effective and economic activity recovers. This package is as much about relief and disaster aid as it is about stimulus. Here's what you need to understand. Many people have been predicting this entire thing for months. Many people have been telling Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, the White House, just anybody that wants to hear or would listen, if we do not provide more stimulus now, we are going to have to provide a lot more in the future to get out of this recession that we're in. Even Jerome Powell, he has stated that it is better to provide more stimulus and put in more money than to put in too little. Because if you put in too little, the effects, the issues that are going to come from it are going to be greater. There's very little risk to overstimulate the economy, but there's too much risk if you understimulate the economy. And that's currently where we're at. So, again, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I just want to break down what is happening, what is in the stimulus package, what is missing, and what we could see based on the news around the world. So that's what we know right now regarding stimulus and regarding COVID. Hopefully you have a wonderful week. Hopefully you had an incredible weekend. Sorry if I kind of burst your bubble, thought this is great, we're going to see a stimulus package today, and this is going to get everybody back to normal. That might not be the case. I hope so. I really do hope so. I'm ready to get back to normal. But if not, let's at least be prepared, and let's at least everybody be informed as to what is happening across the country and across the world. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe if you want to stay updated on everything going on regarding stimulus and COVID, and I'll see you guys on the next one.